got a question for YouTube. What happened to hatred in sports? People in sports are so forgiving. I am a Yankees fan. I still hate the Red Sox. I am a Knicks fan. I still fucking hate Reggie Miller. Okay? Why are the Raptors retiring Vince Carter's number? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you don't know the history about Vince Carter on the Raptors, he was one of the greatest players in Toronto Raptors history. In so many major Raptors stats, he is top 5 in a lot of them. He has a ton of their highest scoring games in team history. He's, of course, a 5-time All-Star. Obviously, one of the most legendary dunkers of all time. Everybody in Toronto loved this motherfucker. Everybody loved Vince Carter. Truly the epitome of what the Raptors and Raptors fans were dying for many, many years. After being rejected by guys like Alonzo Mourning, they basically had to find talent through the draft that would stick around. And they thought Vince Carter was that guy. And he turned out that, nope. Basically, at the end of his run as a Raptor, Vince Carter started intentionally fucking with the team. He was intentionally faking and over-embellishing injuries. He, at one point, he said that he was done with dunking until he was finally traded to another team. As a sports fan, can you imagine if your star player, the one guy that you looked up to, the one guy that was the hero on your entire team, imagine Derek Jeter suddenly got upset with the Yankees and then started to fake injuries, stopped putting in any type of effort, and basically was trying to get traded in the most obvious and intentional way. You could never imagine that because that isn't what the Yankees would stand for. That's not what a normal franchise would stand for. I mean, I guess it's hard, especially in this day and age, but honestly, like 15 years ago or whenever this happened, it was a lot different. There weren't superstars demanding out every 15 minutes like in the NBA nowadays. There weren't guys just trying to get out. No, this is like one of the few times that somebody was intentionally tanking and trying to get moved to a different team. And now they're retiring his number. How does that make any sense? Why don't we hold that against him? I mean, I feel like as an organization, the Raptors should be against this. I think that like half the fan base is very torn on this. I know a lot of Raptors fans are fucking fuming about the Vince Carter thing. They still hate him. They still can't stand him. And that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's what's the beauty of sports. I think sports brings out this like rivalry and anger that you're allowed to have. It's not real life, man. Like, I wouldn't have anything against Vince Carter as a person necessarily. I don't know. It's kind of slimy to do that to your team. I don't necessarily hold it against Vince Carter as a person. You know, I don't. But I do hold it against the Raptors organization for just forgiving him and just like erasing that, especially when it doesn't appear that he's sorry about it. 5 months ago, he talked about it and he said, and I quote, "I just feel like I handled everything the correct way. I had conversations with people and I made a decision that we're seeing now to the 20th power." I don't know what the fuck that means. You ditched the team, you gave up on the team, and you're not even remotely apologetic about it. After all these years, after 15, 20 years, whatever the fuck, however long it's been. Actually, it might have been even longer than that. I don't know. Vince Carter played for fucking forever. I feel like this was the early 2000s. After not being apologetic, after not caring, after not feeling guilty or bad in the least bit of way, still thinking that you are absolutely right in that situation and that you should have given up on your team, handed plays to the other team as you were running them because you were tanking and trying to cause them to lose because you were so bitter and such like a salty asshole that you wanted to just get out that bad. Like, that's the problem for Toronto. And it feels terrible for them all the time. Like, I'm sure Kawhi didn't want to be there, but at least like Kawhi led them to a championship and, you know, went to a team that he wanted to be a part of, and always good. I mean, granted, not everybody can just lead a team to a championship, right? Vince fucking Carter certainly didn't. Vince Carter was just such a little asshole to the entire Toronto Raptors organization that it blows my fucking mind that they would want to retire his number. I don't care how big he was, how important he was to the franchise, how whatever. He left you on your ass. He just completely ditched you. He just said, fuck the entire organization, fuck the entire city, fuck the entire country of Canada, is essentially what Vince Carter was saying. Because this was Canada's only NBA hope, Vince Carter, and he just ditched them, forced himself out of there, and just treated them like shit. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I still hate A-Rod. I still hate the Red Sox. I still hate Reggie Miller. I still hate the Miami Heat. I still hate all these organizations that and people that fucked over my team or beat my team or whatever. That's the beauty of sports. We should have that type of like anger and bitterness about things that happened in the history of sports, things that you grew up watching, things that whatever. It's so fun that way. It's what makes sports fun. It's what makes everything so exciting. Like, I don't understand the forgiveness for a guy that fucked over the entire team, the entire organization. And beyond forgiveness, you can forgive the fucking guy. But to retire his number and to hang it in the rafters and pretend that none of this happened and it's all okay and everything was fucking rosy and peachy the entire time that he was the leader of this organization is atrocious. It's atrocious. I think Raptors fans should be pissed off. I think that the Toronto Raptors should be pissed off. That's just how I feel. I don't know. I'm not like advocating for hate in real life or anything like that. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. In sports, there's a place for that. In real life, like, be cool, man. People make mistakes, whatever. Like, and I would say the same thing about Vince Carter. Like, people make mistakes. You can forgive him. We'll never know all the details of exactly what happened with Vince Carter and the Raptors. It's just impossible unless you're there, unless you're a part of the organization and whatever. We don't know. Maybe the Raptors treated him like shit, whatever. But he never says that either. Like, he never brings that up either. He just doesn't want to be there. And he doesn't care that he did what he did. I don't know. To me, that would be the ultimate sin. I still hate A-Rod. A-Rod fucked the Yankees in a million different ways. He was really fucking annoying. He cheated all the time. He was just a dipshit. And I have no forgiveness or love for that motherfucker. So that's how I feel like you should be in sports. And I think it's okay. And I think it's fun. I think it's great that way. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys big time. I hope you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching.